All trading videos by OFA are for educational purposes only to illustrate sample use cases of the software functionality. OFA is not a trading system or strategy being marketed on a performance track record of live or hypothetical results. Trading involves substantial risk. Please do not purchase or subscribe to OFA services without carefully reading the complete required disclaimers and terms and conditions located on the OFA website. Let's begin this lesson with an example of a double top trade. Here we have a range that's been established. We have a couple of lows that are getting a little bit higher, but we've also dipped over and clearly taken out any sort of volume-weighted average price. We've made a nice high, and now we're retracing back into it. The question for us is whether or not we're going to trade up to it and hold and turn back around, or if we're going to have a breakout and continue the trend with a new swing higher. At this point in time, we really don't know what the outcome is going to be. So the best thing that we can do is be prepared for either scenario. We're either looking for a breakout or we're looking for a double top. In this case, we do know that the outcome's a double top, so we'll be prepared for it. But I want you to start learning these different trade examples with the idea that you don't actually know what the outcome's going to be. That's how it's going to be when you're actually trading live. So what we're looking for is the approach. We want to see when the market starts trading back into the last transition up here. You can see we're starting to do that now. So I'm going to go over and grab my profile, and I want an active range, and I'm going to put that right on here. Once that's on here, I need to see one of two things. I either need to see the market break out of the prior high, or I need to see a strong transition move back down below the volume-weighted average price. Remember, I'm ready to send my order there, and to me, it doesn't make any difference which way it goes. If I break out, I'm going long. If we roll over and trade back below the volume-weighted average price, I'm going to go short. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit so we can see it just a little bit better. And here you can see the market starting to tease us, starting to act as though it's going to break out. When we get to breakouts and breakdowns, we'll see a little bit more in depth of what the actual rules for a breakout are. But just know that it doesn't matter which direction it goes, you're prepared for either outcome. The most important thing to remember is that we're trying to capture the period that probes back into the prior decision point. So in this case, the one that's moving up is the one that we're interested in. We've got to see the market break away one direction or the other. We can't jump the gun here and try and assume that we know what's going to happen. We have to let the market show us. It has to prove to us that we're either breaking out or breaking back down. In this case, a breakdown would mean that we trade through the volume that was pressed up here. Just imagine that what we're trying to do is anticipate a reversal in the market. Now that we see that, we can put our short on up at the volume-weighted average price, and we see that our stop goes in one tick above the edge of value. As the market lifts back into the VWAP, we can clearly see the double top that's been formed. What we're betting on now is that the double top holds and that we continue to push lower. The key aspect of this is trying to anticipate what the transition is going to look like. It's either going to be a transition of a reversal, like it is now, or we're going to see a transition where the buyers come up, the sellers try and hold, and then the buyers transition back through the last selling effort to make a breakout. In this example, we've got a double top. And now our order is filled, and you can see that we're coming back up to challenge and essentially put in a triple top. This is why we're always going to use the edge of value as our guidance on where to place the stop. It should put us far enough out so that if our stop is taken out, it means that we're going to experience a breakout, in which case we'd want to go the other direction on the trade. For now, we'll keep it simple, one trade at a time. I think you should be getting the idea of this. What we're looking for here is for the market to produce the breakdown off of the double top and put our management and take profit algos into play. As you can see, we've made several trips back into the VWAP. We're constantly going to be pushing back up against essentially the point of control. But as I said in the introduction video, the reason that we don't use the point of control for our entry or any piece of our stop is because it's very easy for that number to change rapidly. If the market moves up a little bit and substantial volume comes in, the point of control can shift very easily. Because the VWAP by nature is an average, it's very difficult to have it move quickly. So that's why we always want to use that as our entry. And now we've hit our first target, the 2-to-1, and we start the breakdown towards the 3-to-1 target. Now remember, I've set this algo up so that my stop really doesn't move until we reach the 3-to-1 level. At any point, if the trade is starting to really move and I want to protect more profit, I can always jump my stop up to the volume-weighted average price, the point of control, or even the other edge of value. All I have to do is select the variable that I want, define any offset, and hit the Move Stop button. In this case, we've hit the 3-to-1. It hasn't been filled yet, but you can see our stop has jumped to the volume-weighted average price. And there's the 3-to-1 level. And the 4-to-1 level is hit, and you can see the 5-to-1 target coming out. And there's the 5-to-1 return off of a double top entry. Remember, the key element is to focus on the period that begins probing into the prior transition.